Hello BookTube, my name is Madison and this is Books with Theo. Welcome or welcome back. I'm glad you could join me today. Today I thought it would be fun to go over all of the series that I'm in the middle of currently. These are going to be split into a few different sections. The first section of books that I'll be going over are the series that I own, either up until the point that I have completed or I own partially of, or the next book. The second portion of the video will be going over all of the books that I do not own. So books that I read on Kindle Unlimited, read at the library, etc. I was thinking about doing a separate video towards the end of the year about all of the books that I wanted to read in 2024 and add all of the new series in there. So if you have an opinion on it, let me know what you think I should do. Let's just get right into it. Thanks. Yeah, the zoomies? Yeah, the zoomies? Was you a hyper boy? The first series that I am in the middle of, and these are also in no particular order, we have the Four Horsemen series by Laura Thalassa, and this is the first book, Pestilence. And there are 4 books in this series that I am aware of, and these are retellings of the 4 plagues personified, and they're all steamy love stories. I have read this one. I really liked it. It was fun. It was a quick read for me. I think I've read it twice now. I would give it probably about 4 stars just because it was missing a little something. I could never put my mind on what it was missing, but I think it was maybe just something in the writing that it didn't connect for me. Each horsemen have their own book and own romance, and this is a story of them coming to Earth to basically start the apocalypse. This one was like a 4-star for me. Next, we have the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This does really bother me that I have the first one in hardback and then the last of the 2 that I own in paperback, and also these paperbacks are so floppy, like I can't. I have read From Blood and Ash. This gave me the biggest book hangover of my life. Nobody can compete with Castile. This I gave 5 stars. I've read the second one, which is Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. This one I really enjoyed. I felt like it was a little long, so I gave it I think 4 stars. And then the last one that I own is The Crown of Gilded Bone. I don't have the gumption to finish this book. It's not because it's bad. It's not because of the writing style. I just can't bring myself to finish this book. I want to know what happens with Poppy and Castile. The next series is the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I don't think these are the first 5. I think I have the first 4 in the 6th book, and I'm missing one in the middle. I'm not really sure. They all kind of have very similar titles. Got Ice Planet Barbarians, and these are all by Ruby Dixon. We then have Barbarian Alien, Barbarian Lover, Barbarian Mine. I'm pretty sure this is the 6th one, and this is my favorite one. I've actually read books 7 and 8 as well on my Kindle Unlimited. Reads for me. I can read these in one sitting. I love Ruby Dixon's writing style. Guys, if you haven't read this, you are missing out. The next series I'm going to be showing you is Iron Fae series by Julie Kagawa. I think I'm going to end up DNFing this series. I read the first book 3 times now, trying to get back into the series. I just don't like the writing style. I think this was her debut novel series, and I think her writing has really grown since then and transformed. So I'm going to give some of her other writing a shot. I do have some on my TBR, but I do have books 1 through 4. One's on my shelf. I forgot to grab it. So we have book 2 is The Iron Daughter. Book 3 is The Iron Queen, which I do really, really like this cover. And then book 4 is The Iron Knight. I don't know if you guys have read this before. Is it worth continuing? I mean, I'm not sure at this point. Every time I read it, I mean, I have fun, but the plot is pretty forgettable for me. I have to go back and reread the first book before I can continue, and then I get in this weird book slump and I don't want to continue the series. So let me know what you guys think. We have the Off-Campus series by L. Kennedy. I am missing the last book, The Legacy. We have The Deal, and this is a steamy college hockey romance. This is like infinity stars for me, 5 infinity stars. Guys, Hannah and Garrett, I tabbed the crap out of this book too. So I definitely want to reread this. It's just amazing. I think I have these in the right order, but I'm not entirely certain. But we then have The Mistake book 2. I've read part of it, but I just really was in more of a dark romance mood whenever I started it, so I set it down, just haven't come back to it yet, although I don't know if anything can live up to Hannah and Garrett's story. The Score. Then we have The Goal. All of these books follow 4 different romances. They are all following different members of the college hockey team. Then the last book, I think, is told from multiple perspectives and kind of ties all of their stories together and kind of like closes them up. Next series that I am in the middle of, which you've seen on my channel a few times now, if you have watched my other videos, is the Reawakened trilogy by Colleen Hawke. We have Reawakened, which was a reread for me, 5 stars. I love this book. Lily and Amon are amazing. This is based off of Egyptian mythology, and this mummy awakens to save the world from evil, and he ends up falling in love with a girl who has to help him along his journey. It's fabulous. This is YA as well, so if you aren't into spicy scenes, this is great for you. I have the second book, which is Recreated. Also, all of these covers in this series are stunning. This was also a reread for me. I just finished the reread on this last night. I gave it like 3 stars. Hear me out. I love Lily and Amon, our 2 main characters. I love their love story. I love her banter with his brothers, but I don't like the weird turn this took. I feel like this series just took a sharp 180 and just steered completely away from book 1, but I still want to know what happens. So that's why I gave it 3 stars. I still think overall this is going to be a series worth continuing and reading for anybody who is into Egyptian mythology. The last book is Reunited, and I haven't started this one yet. I've never read this one. Hopefully we'll get to this soon, but I need a break from this series after the last book. The next series is Twisted by Anna Huang. These are the 2 of the 4 books that I own. I have read both of them. I really enjoyed Twisted Love book 1, and then I really loved Twisted Games, which is book 2. I do want to continue this series. It's just not high on my priority list. I think Twisted Love I gave maybe 4 stars. This book was a 5-star read. Next series that I'm in the middle of is the Blood Bond Saga by Helen Hart. This is book 2, Unhinged. I do have the first one. You can see I started it. I just have to be in the mood for a vampire romance, because that's what this is. It's a spicy vampire romance between a vampire who was held captive and an ER nurse. This book was like a 3-star for me. It was entertaining. It wasn't my favorite. Next, we have the famous one and only book 2, Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton, part of the Cat and Mouse duet. I just set this aside for the moment. I went right into this book after finishing Hunting Adeline. I will be picking this up soon. This is on my October TBR, and it's definitely spooky, creepy, gives you all those messed up vibes. So I'm sure I'll pick this up within the next month or so. Who knows? The next series we have is by one of my favorite authors ever, and this is Scarlett St. Clair. We have the Adrian and Isolde. This is a vampire fantasy love story. It is spicy. We've got book 1, King of Battle and Blood. It was good. I will read anything that this author puts out. It wasn't my favorite, but I still want to continue and see what happens. So I would say this is, I think, like a 3-star read for me. I have Queen of Myth and Monsters. This is the 2nd book. I haven't read this yet. I don't know when I will pick this up, but I do plan on it eventually. We have another series by her. This series has been very well loved. This was all over TikTok a year or 2 ago, which is what caused me to pick it up in the first place, and I'm so glad I did. The Hades and Persephone saga. I have book 1, A Touch of Darkness, which also I tabbed the crap out of because it was amazing. It is a retelling of Hades and Persephone. It's spicy, it's dark, it's morally gray. It's a good time. So I've got that one, and then I have a Game of Fate, which is part of the Hades saga, which is connected with the Hades and Persephone saga. So the Hades and Persephone saga is told through Persephone's point of view, and then the Hades saga is the same book, just told from Hades' point of view. So A Touch of Darkness is book 1 from Persephone's point of view, and then A Game of Fate is Hades' book and Hades' point of view of book 1. They were both really good. I really liked them. This one was a 5-star read for me. This one, I don't really remember what I gave it. I kind of just combine the ratings together because they're the same book. There's nothing drastically different about the writing style. You kind of already know what's gonna happen, but there is some interesting like political stuff behind the scenes that you don't see in the original book, A Touch of Darkness, going on with Hades and the rest of the Olympians. I am in the middle of Lore Olympus. I have only read volume 1. This is by Rachel Smith. Super cute. I really like it. Definitely wasn't my favorite thing in the world. Curious to continue it, but honestly, I will probably just get the rest of the books from my library. I don't think I'm going to invest in the others. I am in the middle of this series. Only one book out right now, and it's supposed to be a 5-book series, and you probably guessed it. It is Fourth Wing, the Empyrean series, book 1 by Rebecca Yarros. Xaden is the best. I love Violet. I love everything about the romance, the dragons, the action. This book is infinity stars, like 5-star, infinity star. I love it. Guys, book 2 comes out in just a few weeks. Iron Flame. And it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. We are down to the last book series that I physically own at least a copy of, that I'm in the middle of. And that is the Chestnut Spring series. Book 1, Flawless by Elsie Silver. This is a spicy cowboy romance. Book 1 is all that I've read. This is a love story between a professional bull rider and the daughter of his management company. Okay. So we are on to part 2 of this video, and that is going to be all of the series that I'm in the middle of that I don't own. Maybe I've read them through borrowing at the library or on my Kindle Unlimited subscription, but either way, I don't own a physical copy. The first one that I'm in the middle of is the Clasanian series. I'm gonna put a picture of the first book up here. It's called Choosing Theo. This is an alien romance where the girl gets taken to a foreign planet, and in order for her to seek asylum, basically, she has to choose somebody to marry. So it's like forced proximity, marriage of convenience. It's got all those good vibes. I really, really loved it. The second book series that I'm in the middle of that I don't own is the Redemption Hill series by A.L. Jackson. I've read the first one, Give Me a Reason, and it was 5-star, infinity star for me. It was so good. It is a spicy motorcycle club romance novel. Third book series that I'm in the middle of that I don't own is The Aisling Sea. That is by Vanessa Rasanen. I have read book 1. I believe this is a trilogy. It was really good. It definitely wasn't a 5-star read for me. If you like Pirates of the Caribbean, this is a fairly decent read for you. There is magic in this and political intrigue. It's kind of a good stepping stone into, like, if you like pirates and you like fantasy, but you also like a hint of romance. It is slow burn. There is a lot of world building, which everything was really descriptive. So I think I gave this book maybe like a 3.5. I do want to see where the series goes, but I'm not pressed to read it. Like, I don't feel any pressure to pick up the series anytime soon or know how it ends, but I eventually want to. The next series that I am in the middle of, that I don't own any of the books for, is the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. I've read Hooked, which is a dark, spicy romance retelling between Hook and Wendy. And in all of this series, the villain gets the girl, which is super intriguing to see how the author writes this. I feel like really the only way, if you're wanting to get into dark romance, is you just gotta dive right in. Like, there's no middle ground. Like, you're either in a dark romance novel or you're not. But hers are a really great starting point if you like the fairy tale aspect and you want some of that spice, that romance. I also read Scarred, and that is the retelling of Scar from Lion King. That is, I believe, all that I am currently reading. There might be a few Kindle Unlimited series that I will pick up and put down, but they're not on my radar right now. I did not include any standalone series where I felt like I wasn't going to read the full series. Like, you can read the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy as standalones. Each story will stand by itself and they're just interconnected. So it helps if you read them in order. It helps if you read all of them, but you certainly don't have to. I have picked up a couple books, I believe, from the Cloverleaf Farm series by Melanie Harlow. It is forever books long, and not all of the tropes in that series I find interesting. So I've picked up a couple of them and, you know, I'll read those, but I don't plan on reading the whole series. I don't want to commit all that time to it if I don't think I'm going to enjoy all of the books. I didn't include it in here because I'm not going to be reading it as a series. If you've read any of these, if you have any series recommendations, please let me know. I am going to get into all of the Sarah J. Maas books. I've got plans to start Throne of Glass soon. Leave a snowflake if you've made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next video.